Hey guys, it's Dave coming to you from the dog yard here in southern Maryland. You got that beautiful sunset happening again. So let's see, it's Thursday evening, about 6:30. I just looked at 74 degrees, pretty much no humidity, perfect blue sky, a touch of breeze. Starting to sound like a broken record, but man, what a great day. Had a good day today. Hope you did too. So what are we smoking tonight? So this is one I bought a year and a half ago as part of who recommended it to me? Dwayne at Dry Creek Wrangler School. This is a Kristoff. Let me get my eyes out of there. Kristoff Vengeance. And look at this. Look at that funky nipple on the top. I didn't want to cut it off without showing it to you first. So I actually brought my punch home. Don't know if it'll punch or not with that stupid thing on there. Well, I just tore it off. Pretty good punch. This thing's been in the humidor for a year and a half. I don't really know how well it's going to work. So we'll fire it up and come back to you in a minute. So far, so good. It's lit well. It's got a nice draw to it. It's got that nice Maduro wrap to it. 1 minute in, it's a little light, but not bad. Definitely a medium. Yeah, even the early retro is not too harsh. Yeah. Pretty good. Not a spectacular cigar, but a pretty damn good one. Kristoff Vengeance. Never heard of it except for Dwayne at Dry Creek Wrangler School. And I believe this might be my first one, even though I probably bought 20 of them a year and a half ago. I just never getting to the bottom of my humidor here in Maryland on purpose. I've left everything in the Tupperware. I'm just trying to smoke out of that little box desktop humidor because I had a lot of junk in there. So it's almost cleared up. Then my intent will be to kind of stick to my 4 or 5 or 6 favorites. Yeah, I won't be buying much of this anymore. I like how the sun comes and goes as it comes down through the trees. It's kind of strange that we'll have sunset by about 6:30, quarter to 7. Still feels early. And it feels like it should be a couple hours later than that. And it's strange to have it be dark or pitch dark out at 6 a.m. now. Feels like it should be lighter earlier than that. So guys, I know I sound like a broken record. And I sit kind of right here every night because of the sunset. I'm out here in the dog yard every night. I tell you what a great day I had. Tell you how perfect the weather is here. Well, I'm going to do it again. Thursday, 4 days in a row. I had a great day in the market. That's 4 great days in a row. That's unusual. And we're set up for a good day in the morning too. I think Powell's going to talk dovishly about interest rate cuts. And that's going to cause the U.S. dollar to fall against the foreign exchange. And I'm short a whole bunch of that. So hopefully I wake up to Powell singing like a canary, as they say, and we'll have a 5th great day in a row. So I did what I said I was going to do. 3 of my cars rolled out of the paddock today. Kind of a bad emotional few minutes, but I don't get it too attached to cars. The ones I am attached to, I'm not going to get rid of. But my 2019 BMW M5 Competition, gone. My Maserati Gran Turismo, gone. and my 2015 Aston Martin Vantage SV12 gone. So paddock looks a little emptier today. Actually, it looks a little better, to be honest. And when the sales on those 3 are complete and out the door, I got 2 or 3 more to rack up, and then I'll probably be done for the year. But that'll be nice. Get 5 or 6 of the toys sold into the market before the market collapses a whole lot more. The nice thing is you don't pay tax on when you sell an auto. I don't pay tax on the proceeds. You only pay tax when you buy a car. So all that money will be coming in tax-free, and I got better places for it. That's really it. That was a good, but it was a good day for that. So, although it was emotional to have 3 of my nice cars go away, it's for the right reason. It's good business, right time to do it, right time in the business cycle. I have better use for that cash now. Yeah, so that getting that done, and the market, the weather, and just was a good day. So I don't know if you're getting sick about hearing about how good my days are. Sure like to hear some of you talk about how good your day was. Jim, you're struggling to have a good day, man. We got to fix that somehow. Mark, you're struggling to have a good day. Maybe you had like 6 bad days in a row. Jim, you've had a whole bunch. So anyway, I feel bad sitting here telling you about how great my days are. Dogs are tearing around. So this probably ends the tobacco portion. It's holding its ash nicely. We've only burned it for about 15 minutes, but it's really nice. But this will end the tobacco section of the video. So I've had a bunch of people talk to me about or ask me about trading and day trading and swing trading. And yeah, I told a couple of them that I would do a video on trading. Now, I already did a whole series on finance where we talked about futures, and we talked about options, and we talked about stocks and indices. So I'm not entirely sure if you haven't watched those. I'm not sure why you're asking me to do another video, and I'm not sure what your specific questions are. So if you would send me your thoughts, your questions, your issues, your concerns, and let me conjure together a couple of videos about trading based on what your questions are. So I'll answer some that I think you might have. It can look easy. It is not. I've been doing it 20 or 25 years off and on, diddling in it, playing with it. Pretty seriously the last 4 or 5 years, and really seriously the last 2. Guys, it takes time. It takes years to learn the charts, the indicators, the patterns, macroeconomics, microeconomics, and conjure all those together into what are you going to put money into the market on today? And how long are you going to leave it there? What is your stop loss going to be? How much are you willing to lose on this trade? And what's your target? What do you anticipate making on this trade? The indicators I use are like voodoo lines and daily pivot points. Those things are in front of me at all times when I trade. But then I also pay attention to macroeconomics, like I said earlier. If interest rates get lowered, that means the power of the dollar erodes. And if you trade dollar futures, if you short them, you make a lot of money on those days. But if you short it and they don't do it tomorrow and they actually come out hawkish, you can lose your ass too. So it really depends. Do you protect yourself with automated stop losses, or are you worried that the bots will hit your stop losses? The other thing is, if you do truly want to trade, if you want to pop in and out of trades on the same day or within 24 hours, you have to have a minimum of $25,000 in your account at all time. And if you lose a little bit of money, you got to put more money in to keep the balance there. You're going to lose money. So the first question I have, are you serious enough do you have the means to write a check for $25,000 and open up a brokerage account that you're going to trade from? And if you can't, or if that's a painful number, that probably should be the end of your day trading thoughts. Day trading is supposed to be one of the last things you do, not the first. You cannot be dependent on your progress as a day trader financially, and you cannot be financially destitute if you lose the money you put into your trading account. And if either of those is true, you're just not ready to start. I mean, there's all sorts of books and courses and online courses. One of the more famous ones from 20, 25 years ago that I started with was The Motley Fool, and it's still out there. And then you have to understand your charts. What is a candlestick? What's a wick? What's a moving average? Simple moving average, exponential moving average. What do they mean? Which ones are important? I use the 10, 20, 50, and 200-day moving averages on my charts. What are some of the other, more advanced indicators, the MACD and the RSI? I mean, these are all, I can just pepper you with terms and terminology for the next hour on the video. I don't really want to do that. So I just don't know. One, do you have the capital to do this, to truly put 25 to 50 grand away and be disciplined? Do you have the time? If you're going to day trade, you got to pay attention to the market. It means you got to have your charts pulled up. You can't be pulled away into meetings and conference calls and family issues. And I mean, it's, if I have a family issue, I just don't trade that day. If I'm driving to Wyoming, I just don't trade that day. Sometimes the real cost of what I choose to do during a weekday is the loss of trading. I had a $6,000-$7,000 day today. And if I was driving to Wyoming, I wouldn't have that. So the cost of driving to Wyoming is not just the gas, it's the $7 grand I could have made today. We're approaching a $20,000 week. And if you have too much going on, you just can't day trade. That's a big ticket to not have coming into your account. So the question is, how serious are you? How capable are you? How ready are you? Just me taking the time to put together a whole bunch of trade videos and all that. If you're not serious, capable, or ready, it's really a waste of my time, to be honest with you. So if it's sort of idle curiosity, kick me questions, thoughts, concerns, and I'll answer them and do video around that, as opposed to trying to create like a 10-part series on day trading. So to answer the question, what am I trading? I've told you this in the past. I mainly focus on agricultural commodities. Like right now, I'm making most of my money being short on corn, soybeans, wheat, and then I play the dollar. So while the farmers are getting killed out there because of the commodity prices are crazy. Dogs bump the remote. So I was trying to say is, I've told you before, I trade mainly agricultural futures. Most of this year, I've been short the corn market, the soybean market, the wheat market. Anyway, the farmers are getting decimated out there because the price of these commodities have just been cratering for the last 4 or 5 months. But I'm shorting that market, so my shorts make money as the market falls. So, and just one of those guys that, while some of the most critical members of our society are getting devastated, those of us who play Wall Street make money on it either way. We make money if the market goes up. We make money if the market goes down. It doesn't really matter to us. We just have to be correct in predicting which direction it's going. I also trade the meats, as they're called: cattle, live cattle, feeder cattle, and hogs. Lean hogs. Those are the three. So wheat, corn, soybeans, live cattle, feeder cattle, and hogs. Those are the 6 markets that I trade commodities on. And then I trade the dollar, the DX, as it's called. So it's those 7 markets I pay attention to. I used to try to trade others, what they call the softs: cotton, coffee, cocoa. I used to trade the metals: gold, silver. I even tried to play other currencies: the yen, the British pound, the Swiss franc. I gave all that up. I've really become largely an expert in those 7 markets, and I've gotten pretty good at it. I think by focusing, to close all those other doors, hundreds and even thousands of other doors I had to close to focus on the 7 that are working for me right now. And at some point they'll stop working for me, and I have to switch to something else probably. So guys, over the last 25 years, I've read book after book after book. I've taken course after course. I've gone to seminar after seminar. I mean, it's unbelievable how many resources out there. And sometimes they compete. Sometimes they tell you one thing and the other one tells you the exact opposite. And you have to figure out which methodology works for you, which indicators are you going to buy and put on your charts that make sense to you, or are you going to create your own? I mean, it's a morass, and I'm the wrong guy to guide you through it. I just don't have the expertise to teach people. But again, I'm going to shut up and just ask you, what questions do you have? What concerns do you have? What thoughts do you have? Send them to me, and I'll put them in, hopefully, some intelligent videos for you. So I'll close the trading conversation with this. If you're hurting for money, if you think this is going to be a quick way to make some money, or to get you out of a job you hate, or dig you out of a financial hole, you need to stop. You need to go get a job. Do not attempt trading as a way to fill an emergency hole in your life, budgetary wise. It will take years to get good at it. It'll take years to get to the point where it will put positive money into your account on a regular basis. Because if you're just starting out, you have a whole bunch of maturing and emotional training you have to put yourself through. If you take a position and it goes against you, you just ride it to the death of your account, or do you have the maturity to jump out of a position that cost you money? And if a position's doing well, do you have the maturity to let it run and accrue real wealth for you, or do you get all jiggery with it when it makes you 10% and you jump out. Yeah. Do you have the maturity to develop a set of trading rules that you follow and that you tailor them as you learn what works and what doesn't for you? This all takes a long time, and it doesn't throw money off to your trading account will not throw money off to your checking account, so that it'll save your ass on bills, not for years. But if you're good with cash, you got your bills paid, you don't need a lot of money, you got money in the bank, you got assets surrounding you, and you're ready to try to learn another skill, maybe you are ready. It can seem easy from a guy who sits here and tells you he had a good day in the market. But what you didn't see is the 23 or 25 years it took to get here. So it's been fun to see people's sellers as they've done VRs to Mark, or a couple of you just did seller tours for no reason, not as a VR to Mark. But it's really interesting. It's interesting how many people do the nice jar labels, jar tops. I did that for the first 6 months or so. I gave up on it. It was too much work. And I don't see them enough. Most of the jar labels are on top. So I just gave up on it. I just use handwritten labels, or like when I get things shipped to me, I snip the bag front, the label off the bag, and tape it to the front of the jar. And to me, that's good enough. I like the look of you guys that have all the jars tipped on their side and all the formal labels. It looks fantastic, but I'm just not willing to do it. I learned that about myself. Literally in the first 2 or 3 months, I started to hate doing it. I also I find it interesting how many of you talk about cellaring fewer blends now and cellaring it deeper. I know Johnny Onions has talked about that a lot over the last year, but several of you just in the last 2 or 3 days have said you're not trying to cellar as many blends now and put more of the ones you really like behind. I thought that was true. I've tried to pay attention to what like my top 10 are and make sure that I've got that cellared, pretty deep for those. Gives you a little dog action here on the side. Chance is pretty tired tonight, so he's been laying here for a while. The two hooligans are they're tired as well. They were outside all day today, so no naps, but they can't stand not playing with each other. Echo's tired too, so she is gonna chilling. She didn't get a nap today either, so they're both really tired. Thursday is get the house clean day, so while the house cleaners here, they have to stay outside all day. They think they're gonna file charges on dog abuse if we keep that up. It's interesting. Marva cleans our house. She's cleaned our house longer than our kids have been alive. You believe that? We've known her 25 years. My wife calls her guilty pleasure. Look, the dogs are so upset they're starting to tunnel under the fence. Probably name it, right? Sam or Harry. Finn, get out of there. Get. Hooligans, man. Look at this guy holding his ash. Obviously, it's a well-constructed cigar. Yeah, we're a little over halfway done. I gotta say, the flavor's holding up. It's not getting bolder or stronger. It's just staying nice. So that wildfire out in Wyoming's not doing the right thing. It's doubled in size each of the last 3 nights, so it's a pretty big fire now. And it's moving north more than northwest, so it's not really, it's moving sort of towards the house, but not a lot. It's still many miles away. It's a couple ridge lines away, but I'll put a picture up from last night. It's looking uncomfortably close. So I might be heading to Wyoming early to do some tree trimming around the house. And if it gets close enough that embers and things start falling, I'll get the hoses out and at least keep the roof and the house hosed down and wet and everything. And then the irrigation system will just turn on, so it'll keep the 10 acres wet. And one of the advantages of being there is if embers do start dropping on the property, if it does ignite, I can, stomp it out. It'd be a nightmare if the fire turns towards the house and really does threaten the house, and there's not much one-man show can do. So anyway, I'm not worrying about it. I'm not sweating it. Just the facts are the fire's 3 or 4 times larger than the last time we talked about it, and it moving sort of generally in the wrong way, in my opinion, and has gotten a little bit closer. And they've estimated its containment date is October 1st, so that was a little further out than I expected. So I may get the opportunity to go to Wyoming a little early. We'll certainly know more over the next few days. Well, guys, cigar's getting short. Sun is set. I guess I should shut up and go ahead and post this up. Well, I know some of you didn't have a great day or a great week, so I hope tomorrow's better for you. Friday, hope the weekend's better for you. So I end this my traditional way. May God bless you. May God turn his ear to your prayer. May he make his face shine upon you, and may he bless you in your life as well as he blesses mine. And guys, that's it. Talk to you. Good night. Talk to you tomorrow.